Hi there, it's Amelia Kramer from Upwards Art Studio. Today I'm going to demo golden paints. So we're going to look at the difference between the 1980 line and their professional line. And then I'm also going to talk a little bit about their reclaimed paints. Just let me switch cameras here. Oops, we want to replace spotlight. There we go. Okay, so my camera's a little close today because my if I'm going to paint on panels, they're going to be super small. So I thought I'd zoom in a little bit. So Gamblin Artist Colors was founded in 1980 by Robert Gamblin. He is a dedicated artist and art conservator. His primary motivation was to create a range of oil paints that met the needs of contemporary artists while also respecting the traditions of the old masters. Oops. So he wanted to provide artists with high quality materials that offered both consistency and innovation. And that's what's driven this company. The paints are beautiful. So that's what's driven this company to make the best oil paints, in my opinion, the best oil paints. I'm just going to stop at that. So they do have two different lines. So the 1980 line is their student line, and then they have a professional line as well. So the 1980 line is meant for students or beginners. So it's a more affordable option for oil paint without compromising on the quality. So the key aspects of it is that it's affordable, it's still good quality, and there is a large range of colors. And then the professional line, so this one, its purpose is and target audience is for professional artists and experienced painters. There is a huge color line, and the pigments are the highest quality pigments with the highest quality binders. And so there is a little bit of difference in the consistency and the materials that are used within both paint lines. So the 1980 uses lower quality or lower cost pigments and has more fillers. So this kind of it does affect the quality of the paints, but they're still beautiful. And then the professional line uses pure high quality pigments with no fillers. And they also use a more high quality linseed oil with minimal additives, which affects the texture. So this one has a little bit less of the refined linseed oil and more additives. So this one's nice and buttery, and this one's a little bit more not as buttery, but it's still nice and buttery. And then the pigment load, obviously, just like any other student line, this one has the pigment load is lower, and then this one's higher. And also the color range, this one has a lot of colors available, the professional line. This one has kind of the standard colors that someone coming into painting would need. Of course, all of them intermix. So if you have some of these ones and these ones, they're going to intermix just perfectly. I'm just reading off my notes here so I don't miss anything. And the light fastness is generally good for the 1980 line. Because it uses different pigments than the professional line, they may not be as light fast, and you'll be able to see the light fastness rating on the label. And then these ones are excellent light fastness, excellent permanence. And then just about the consistency again, these are a bit more buttery than these. For a price comparison, so this is a cad red, right? These are going to be one of the most expensive paints is a cad. So so this one's the 1980 line. it does not have real cadmium in it, so it is $14. This one has real cadmium in it, and it is Canadian, and it is, what is it? $40.92 Canadian. So you can see or you can hear the difference in the price. So that price difference is because of the pigments, right? Because cadmium is a very expensive pigment. And then if you're not using the real thing and you are using the real thing, then there's going to be a difference in price. Okay. So let's try some of these out. So I have a bunch of the 1980, and I have two that are, you know, one line of each. And then I have all these, I was doing these like winter paintings a while back. And so I have all these, actually that's not one. They have these like vibrant colors, and then all of these Portland grays, which are just, they're just beautiful. And yes, I know that I could mix these based on what pigments are in them, but I just went for the full line of the Portland grays, just because they're so, I think I have two mediums in here. Yeah. Just because they're so beautiful. And they really made differences in the snow, right? And the tones of the snow and the shadows and light. Okay, so let's get some of these out. So I have just a palette paper here. I have a gessoed panel, or a gessoed kind of board, I guess. Just so that you can, just so I didn't have to gesso something beforehand, because I'm not really great at that. Not great, it's just tedious, right? So, okay, so this is the 1980. I'm just gonna put it right on this board. So this is yellow ochre. That's the 1980. And then this one is the professional line, right? You can see the texture difference. I hope you can see the texture difference. This one's nice and thick. This one's a little bit more oily, I guess. Right. So when I squish them out, I'm gonna grab my rag here. Right. You can see the texture difference, right? So these are and I have a lot of shadow from my tripod. But the professional line is very lovely and buttery. Not that the 1980s are bad, like they're not bad paints, obviously, because I use them both. But yeah, you can see the quality. You can see right away and the differences. Okay, so what else do I want to do? So the colors are really nice and bright. I'm just going to use this phthalo to show that. Like the saturation is really lovely. And yeah, I love these paints, which is why we got this brand in over some of the other brands that exist. Oh, and I want to show you this, here, we'll just try it on this. So there's this Radiance. This is in the professional line. I need my apron to open some of these. They glued themselves shut. This is a Radiance turquoise, right? So they're kind of have a bit of white in them, I think. Yeah, there's a regular titanium white in them. And but they're gorgeous colors. Oh, and use gloves. Obviously, I'm not using gloves right now. Oh, that's a Portland gray. So there's the turquoise, Radiant turquoise. Should have gotten pliers. And this is the Radiant green. Right, so the colors are just beautiful. We have the full color line of the smaller professional. We have the I think, I'm not sure if it's the full line or pretty sure it's the full line of the 1980. And then we have most of the professional in the larger tubes as well. Now I'm just making stuff up. Okay, so those were the Radiants. I'm just going to show you these Portlands because these are lovely. So this is light gray, right? And these are the professionals, so they're nice and buttery. I did find my pliers. Look at this one. That one's beautiful. Right, for the shades on and tones on snow is just gorgeous. So that second one was the Portland warm gray. This is Portland medium. It's kind of right in betweenish. And then Portland deep. Oh, beautiful. And Portland cool. Oops. Oops, okay. A little bit of oil in the bottom in there. Right, so just, I'm gonna hold that up a little bit so you can see the difference, right? That's got a nice, I'm sure you can see that, nice blue to it. This one's, let's wipe that off again. This one's a nice deep gray. This one's the medium gray. This one's the warm. That's gorgeous. It's got a nice like purple, blue tone to it. That one's got a little bit of linseed. And then that's the light gray. So just those, to me, those tones and shades for snow is very beautiful. And those were all the most of those colors only come in the professional line. I think this one comes in the 1980. I would have to double check, but yeah, so they're all intermixable with each other, like the 1980 and the professional line. So if you're trying to save yourself a bit of money, you could get like the CADs in the 1980 and then get some of the other ones in like a series 1 or series 2 in the professional, and then just kind of work your way up from there, adding little bits at a time. Okay, so that's basically the different. You can see the physical difference. Mostly when I was putting it, first applying it, right? This can be super thick. Not that they can't both be super thick, but maybe those kind of there-ish. Wipe that up a little bit, just because I'm going to put product on here. Oh, look at my craziness. Again, wear gloves if you're oil painting. Do not do as I'm doing right now. Okay. And they're both lines are compatible with all of the Gamblin solvents and oils that they have, or additives. So okay, so I wanted to talk about this line of paints too. So this is called Reclaimed Earth. I'm just gonna move that up a little bit. So we have the 3-piece set. I'm just going to talk about these a little bit. So they are a unique line of oil paints created from pigments sourced from contaminated soil and water. So I think these ones are from the Ohio River, I believe. And so what happens is that, and it was in conjunction with a university. I'm kind of going off the top of my head right now. So the science students, I think they were like biology and environmental students, they cleaned the water in parts of the Ohio River. So these paints are made from the remnants of the dirtiness of the water, right? So the Ohio River is very contaminated because of because of lots of mining that happens close to the river and lots of industry that happens close to the river. And so Gamblin has been working with these higher education places to use the minerals that come from the lake or from the river and create paints from them. So these are, rust is actually rust from that was in the water. Iron again and brown ochre, right? So these are, so where am I going with this? So Gamblin helps to, with this line of paints, helps to clean up river and lake beds in, specifically in the States right now. They may, who knows if they'll do other countries later. But they are an American company, so they're helping within the States. And so with the cleaning of these waterways, Gamblin is helping to not just right, because what do you do with rust and iron after it's been taken out of the lake bed, right? There's really, you used to throw it out in some way, but then it contaminates something else. So these are using those pigments in a more friendly way. So the pigment colors they're supernatural, or they offer earthly, I should say, rather than natural, earthy tones that are different from traditional pigments, because they are actually made from, not that other pigments aren't, but these ones are from the earth and the natural minerals that are found in contaminated soils. So these are really, they're great paints. All the binders and stuff and the refined linseed oil are all the same as in their professional line. So yeah, I would really highly recommend these paints as well. Okay. Oops. So that's all I was going to cover today for the Gamblin, their 1980 line versus their professional line, and then also their line of reclaimed earth paints. So all of our products are available on upwardsartstudio.com. We have an online store there. You can also pre-shop. So we have a wish list function, all of those great things that you love from other places. And if you live locally, you can buy online and then pick up in store. So that's also an option. And the website is upwardsartstudio.com. And my name's Amelia Kramer, and I'm the owner here. Okay, thanks everyone.